Hello and welcome back to the Misfits Podcast, rated 5 stars on iTunes by Glover102928. He says, instead of listening to this...
Yeah, epic.
Hello.
Really good.
Nice, man, nice.
G'day, cunts, and welcome back to the Misfits Podcast. Rated 5 stars on iTunes by Glover102928. He says, instead of listening to the teacher, I listen to 6 guys talk about masturbating. Not a bad review by any stretch of the imagination. I'm joined today by my co-host, Toby.
Hi, I masturbated earlier.
You did?
Yeah.
Cool beans. Swagger's here too.
Hi, how are you? I also... I did not masturbate because I'm trying to keep all the testosterone in my body for when I work out.
That's how it works. Mason is here as well.
Yeah, I'm doing the same thing as he's doing.
You are?
Yep. Hello.
Hello.
My name's Mace.
I had no idea that you were doing that. That's fantastic. When are you going to start working out? Joined today as well by Matt. He's
Hi, I'm with 5 other weird guys.
5 other weird guys.
Yeah.
I mean,
1, 2, 3, 4.
just five weird guys.
It's just Jay's here in spirit. He's here in spirit.
No,
We got
Jay
Thomas.
is not here.
Can the camera see Thomas? No.
No, my camera can.
By the way, guys, we are test filming this episode again.
Yeah, Thomas.
Let's talk about what we're talking about, okay? They're talking about Thomas.
It's basically it's a Thomas the Tank Engine ride-on toy that has a tube coming out the top of it.
Well,
We're calling it Thomas the Dank Engine. But if you want to find out what the tube is for, you're going to have to keep an eye out on the Misfits channel for our 420 vlog.
Surely we can talk about it before it comes out. You know what's funny? With you're done rustling there, mate?
Yeah, mate.
What's funny is that on the Fiji vlog when we posted it, people were saying how like the podcast is like reading the book and then the vlog is like watching the movie. Because we talk about all the content that we shoot on the podcast and then they get to see it on the channel and they get to actually see the visuals for it.
We just need a Poland story movie, that's all.
Yes.
You get that made.
We should definitely make a Poland story movie at some point.
Insane.
That would be awesome. But no, surely we can talk about our 420 day.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, we
just a
can.
little bit.
I just think it's cool enough.
This is not, we at least talk about the Thomas the Dank Engine part, not like all the other stuff.
Sure. Well, let's just say that we had a little competition on 420. It was a Saturday here in Australia. Beautiful Saturday. Should we reveal what the competition was? How much do you want to reveal here?
Ooh. Is it all on me?
I'm just looking at you because honestly,
So you have a GoPro strapped to your head, and what the fuck is that?
Look, basically, we had a competition on 420. It involved bong making, and for my team's design, which was me, Mason, and towards the end, Sam replaced Mason as he got bored.
Towards the very end, I helped.
Yes, everyone kind of helped with Thomas. Well, basically, we went out. We had an hour to buy things for the competition, and we chose Thomas the Tank Engine. He's like a toy.
Ride-on toy.
He's about the size of a good fish. And we were like, fuck it, let's make Thomas into a bong. And honestly, I didn't have high hopes at the beginning, but as the night drew on and as we kind of invested some time into cutting him open, removing his components, and inserting various pipes, etc. into him, we made him into a bong. And
It worked pretty well.
It worked pretty well.
He chews
It
hard.
wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad. And everyone else, obviously, there were maybe 4 other teams?
There was 3 teams in total. It was you and Mason, me, and Matt, and then it was Toby and Ryan.
Yes, Jay's
on holiday.
Jay's on holiday, so he missed out on this one, unfortunately. But yeah, we all made bongs. We won't spoil the rest of them. But we're very proud of Thomas. He turned out very well. You can actually ride him while you hit the bong as well, which is just outstanding.
The only issue with that is that the bit where you burn the weed is behind where you sit.
It's in the coals.
So you would have to be
lighting a
holding
fire
a
on your
lighter
ass.
behind you.
Yes. So you better not be wearing a long shirt,
You
basically.
can always reverse cowgirl
Creative,
that
though.
motherfucker.
That's true. Choose probably long enough for that.
Yeah. So yeah, that was our 420. We also had a meetup on 420.
Yeah.
Basically in Melbourne every year on 420 there's like a event in the park which is illegal because weed's illegal here, but a bunch of people just get together and smoke a bunch of weed.
And because there's so many people there, the cops kind of just let it happen.
Well, they didn't really. The cops were interfering a little bit. They actually arrested some people, I think.
Yeah,
which is kind of whack.
I mean, from what I hear, there was over 1,000 people at that event, and when I went there, I expected maybe a couple hundred, not too much. But the entire park, like the entire hill, was filled with people just hitting ganja in circles, and I was like, This is fucking awesome because I've never ever been to like a 420 meetup before where everyone does this protest and they just sit around, smoke weed peacefully and all of that. And there were cops on the outskirts. None of them would actually go really inside. But
There was one group that we saw that was giving people tickets in the actual circle,
Right.
like, on the hill.
Imagine getting a ticket for smoking weed.
They were walking around with his iPad, like writing out tickets and giving them to people. It was so weird.
But like I can see like if you're at a 420 meetup like that and you're smoking a joint and you go right up to a cop while you're smoking a big joint and like just doing it right in front of them, they have to do something. It's their job, and you're just asking for it.
I feel like they kind of just were making a presence because otherwise people would complain that they weren't doing something. Well, there's still some pretty conservative people in Melbourne that would be like, why didn't you do anything about those fucking hippies in the park?
I think it's a good thing the cops were there, in case there's a fight that breaks out, or they're there to keep the peace and make sure everybody's safe.
Who's going to get in a fight at like a 420 rally,
If
though?
someone steals some fucking guy's
They're all
weed,
mellowed out.
They're all mellowed out.
No one's going to do that.
There was a crazy guy there, man. Because I went there with a helmet on the entire time, which was pretty funny. So people were coming by, and it was just so worth it walking around, and just a bunch of these stone cunts were sitting down watching me, just going their fucking jaws agape, going like, "Oh man, he's in the helmet, man."
I couldn't believe how many people were just fascinated by it. So why is it so normal seeing you in a helmet?
That girl that walked up to you when we were at the meetup, and that girl walked up to you, and she's like, "Sir, can I take a photo with you?" And then she goes, "Oh my god, I just assumed your gender." Ryan and I just looked at each other and burst out laughing.
She was ironic. She's not one of those types, because she literally went, "I'm sure you identify something like a toaster, right?" And I was like, "Oh no, I attack helicopter." She goes, "Good choice." So I think she was just memeing. But dude, there was this one guy. He had fucked up teeth. This guy looked like he was maybe 70. He just looked crazy. Like literally lazy eye, just fucking off his kilter. And he just comes up to me and he's like, "Oh man, yeah man, your helmet's sick." Oh man, I had a dream, right? So this dream, I was like, I was a knight, yeah, and I was like, no, I swear, but this shit was, like, I was a fucking knight in a past life, man. Like, I fucking appreciate you, dog. I fucking appreciate you hardcore, man. Keep on going with that.
Yeah,
man.
keep on going by all means.
Yeah.
So I guess been practicing that impression all fucking week.
Literally, this guy, it was fucking hilarious. And I was just sitting there nodding and just being like, yep, yeah, of course, dude. Yeah, dude, that's awesome. I'm a knight. Yes.
Talking to you in the helmet is so intimidating though, because there's no emotion that you get from. You just get like who's the big guy in fucking Game of Thrones with the Hound? Is that what he's called?
Yeah.
Who's the fucking guy that's just a massive unit?
Yeah.
Your eyes just look like that. There's a black as night, just piercing through those little eye slits. Zero emotion.
I don't ever realize how intimidating I actually look in the helmet.
Well, you're not that intimidating. I mean, you're a little guy.
Fuck you. No, but it's funny. Every single time I take a picture at the meetup. Yes. A picture of the meetup, I always smile, and I always catch myself going like, "Why the fuck am I smiling?" It's a fucking picture, and I have my face completely covered.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes smiling can change your body posture and stuff.
Really?
I feel like sometimes you can tell when someone's smiling, even if you can't see their actual smile.
I mean, it's just the natural response when you're smiling for a picture you pose, I guess. I don't think it's like you smile and your body contorts into like a fucking positive aura. I get what you mean, though. Speaking of pictures, we held a meetup, very impromptu. We announced it like a few hours before. We're just like, "Yo, come to the park in this corner. We'll take some photos and shit."
I've had a few people that came to the meetup talk to me in my stream, and a lot of people said that they didn't actually like it that much. A lot of people said that they kind of felt the same way I did, which was that the like organized meetups are better because they have the structure, and it's like, all right, you walk up, you get a photo with them, then you move on to the next person, then you move on to the next person. Whereas this one, we were just kind of all around, and it was like, you will someone had to initiate the contact.
Someone had to walk up,
and
then be like, "Hey, can I take a photo? And can I take, can you sign something?"
Not really. I mean, the way I handle it was like, obviously it's a little awkward because they don't know what to do because they just showed up,
right?
And it's our job to host them. So like I was just, I would just see people and then normally be looking at you, and then you just introduce yourself and then you take a photo.
Right.
Like it's only awkward if you make it awkward. Like,
I was just saying what people have been saying to me.
A lot of people have that social anxiety, and a lot of people look up to us as content creators and everything. So I can see that there's a little bit more,
It'd be more
anxiety and intimidation that would come with that.
Yeah, but
which is understandable.
From my perspective, it was pretty wholesome. Like, I was just chatting to people, and it was awkward at times because, they literally don't know what to do with themselves. They're just standing there. But as long as you keep yourself busy and talk to, go up and talk to people and shit, then it's all right. But I guess then there's always other people waiting their turn, and they're not in the line, so they're just kind of stood there like, all right, whatever.
What about those two guys that asked you for a picture?
Oh my god, that was so funny. Yeah, so we're there. Everyone's asking for photos or whatever and signing stuff, and it's all good. And then these two guys come up behind me and go, "Hey man, can we get a picture? Or could you take a picture?" I was like, 100%, dude, 100%. Guy gives me his phone, then he just walks over to his other two buddies and stands next to them, and I'm just stood there with the phone like, "Oh, you mean if you guys don't know who I am?" And they're like, "What?" And I just took the photo for him. And they handed back his phone and they wandered off. They thought that what we were doing was just a bunch of people. We were just taking photos with people or for people. I don't know. It was so awkward. It's I thought they were friends, but they were clearly just a couple guys
smoking weed,
just chilling.
Yeah.
Piss off.
Interesting. What it looks so weird from so many of the people at the park's perspectives. They were just there smoking weed, and then there was just this group of people crowding around these 5 guys,
and then one guy in a fucking night helmet.
One guy in a helmet. Yeah.
Yeah, it probably did look pretty odd, but I mean, it was worth it. It wasn't that big or out of control either. I think only about 40, 50 people showed up. So that was good. Good to meet you guys. If you were there,
shout out.
I don't like signing tits. So
neither.
If you could refrain from pulling your breasts out for me to.
Oh,
put
your job
ink
is
on.
so hard, mate. I feel bad for you.
I mean,
Find some titties
it just feels awkward. I think I may have signed 3 pairs of tits since I've been a YouTuber. I mean, it's awkward in the sense where it's like someone comes up, "Hey, can I sign your tits?" Or "Can you sign my tits?" And it's just she came up to me at the rally. And I was like, "Nah, it's fine. I really don't feel comfortable doing that." And she goes, "Yeah, but everybody else signed them." And then she showed me her breasts, and everyone else fucking signed them. And I didn't want to be like,
just sign the titties.
So I fucking signed them.
What's wrong with signing?
Part of the
it takes
job,
2
man.
seconds.
It just makes me uncomfortable.
It's like she whipped out her whole tit.
She just pulls down her shirt and shows cleavage.
It's just because sometimes you have to touch them to fucking stretch them out so you get a good signature.
Stretch them out, cunt.
Just
Just
groping
fucking
them.
right on the titty.
Because it's just, I don't know, man. I have an eloquent signature, okay? It's not as easy as just writing FITZ for me. I have 16 letters, dog.
Fits. Easy. No worries.
On the way to the meetup, I was hanging out with one of Ryan and Sam's friends, Gatsby, who's also our friend now. But he's
He's my best friend.
he's a rapper, he's a SoundCloud rapper, and he's kind of covered in tattoos and that sort of vibe. And he really wanted to get a tattoo with me. He's just ever since I got my last tattoo, the tattoos on my fingers, he's been like, "Dude, we need to get a tattoo together. It'd be so sick. Let's get a tattoo together." And he was visiting us, and we were on the way to the 420 rally. And as we were driving there, Ryan goes, "Hey, look, Gatsby, a tattoo parlor." And he goes, "Ryan, let's go in, please." So I was just like, "Fuck it, I'll get a tattoo." So we go into this tattoo parlor, and we didn't get matching ones, obviously, because
It's fucking gay.
we also we don't really have the same kind of style. So his ones are very traditional and sort of, he gets he has a lot of dates and stuff like that tattooed on him, and sort of that neo-traditional style.
Flaming skulls, naked women with AKs. Yeah.
And
Very traditional stuff.
Not really my style. So I went in there, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I want to get a date tattoo." And the guy was like, "Yeah, we can tattoo you right now." I'm like, "Sweet." So I just kind of looked on my phone. I have a bunch of screenshots of tattoos that I think look cool, and I was just scrolling through, and I was like, "All right, that one will do." I just picked a screenshot of a tattoo I liked, and I showed it to the tattoo artist, and I got it tattooed.
Wait, so it's someone else's tattoo?
Well, no, I
I
showed
didn't
her.
even see it.
I showed her a photo. Wait, you haven't seen it?
No.
You've never seen this tattoo? It's 2 chicks making out.
Okay. That's fine.
But no, I showed her what I wanted, and then she was like, "All right, I'll draw that myself." So,
I see. You just showed her straight up lesbian porn. Can you please put this on me?
That's pretty useful, man. If you don't have internet connection, just look at your arm for a wank. Is it your right or your left?
exactly. It does mean I have to wank with my left hand, though.
Bad move. Rookie
Yeah.
mistake.
I know.
Can I see it again?
Yeah. But
Yeah, it's just two chicks just tonguing the fuck out of each other.
yeah, it's like pretty simple like line work
not
with
that
a
graphic.
with a tiny amount of shading. Like there's shading around the eyes and on the lips. But yeah, I went and got that done, and it's like my first reasonably sized tattoo. It was pretty painful at times because she was really quick, and like when they're tattooing fast and long lines, it's literally just like someone scraping a needle across your arm, and it's not pleasant.
Kind
You got that done before the event, did you?
I got that done just after. So Gatsby got
okay.
his done before, and I got mine after.
How long did that take?
Probably an hour.
Oh yeah, that's not
Not too long. But basically, for anyone who's listening, it's a diamond with two women in it making out, right? And I was thinking it would be really cool. I was thinking it'd be really cool to get like to make a sleeve out of it and
Yeah,
just
like
get
you can put them scissoring right below.
yeah, exactly.
Maybe a couple of cocks.
No, I was thinking just
Couple of cocks.
like covering my arm in the same size diamonds and having them blank.
Just cover
Different
your arm with
porn
graphic
scenes and
sexual
shit.
material.
and then like throughout my life, just get people to tattoo inside the diamonds and
Yeah,
build a
that'd be
sleeve
fun.
like that.
Wait. So you're saying your whole arm is like a collage of diamonds with different
Yeah, it would
portraits in
all
them?
be diamonds and like a pattern, and then it would have different tattoos in them from different artists.
That'd be
It's
fucking
actually
sick.
unique.
I think that'd be a cool sleeve idea.
Is it going to be like where people sign your cast, you give them like a diamond and like here, draw a design and have them?
Well,
put
yeah,
it on?
it actually would be like I've always wanted to, just be able to find artists I like and be like, hey, I want you to tattoo me. And I think that would be a really cool way of doing it. It's just like, hey, you can have a diamond, do whatever you want in it, or
That's
like,
not a bad
Can you
idea.
let Mason draw one?
Would you? Oh fuck no! Fuck, I would not want that fucking.
Just
No.
fucking brand you with the N word. What did Gatsby get?
a date. I think it was
Didn't
the
he
date
get
he was
Misfits
born.
tattoo?
Yeah, he got a
Oh
Misfits
yeah, he
tattoo on his
also
leg.
got Ryan. Ryan was like, you should get a Misfits tattoo because this is going in the vlog, so it would make sense. And Gatsby was like, sure, I'll get a Misfits tattoo.
Right on the fucking thigh.
And he was about to get a tattoo done, and then he was like, I got a great idea. Ryan should write it. So Ryan comes in and in like half a second just writes Misfits on a piece of paper. It's super like unneat and it's just messy and the
good,
guy's
though.
like, sure, we'll tattoo it. He tattoos it. It looks sick.
Yeah,
it looks like
bad.
actually
it
looks
looks
I like
way
it.
better than a proper font would have looked, I reckon.
Very like artsy, very like yeah, guys, so cool. Cool tattoos.
Do you think you guys will ever get tattoos? I know Mason has one.
Yeah, I'm tempted to get more, but I'm just like taking my time with them.
Yeah.
'cause I don't fucking know what else I'm gonna get yet.
Yeah, it's
I
no rush.
love it. I've only got 4 and 2 of them are tiny, but I don't know, just every time I look at my arms and stuff or see myself in the mirror, I'm like, fuck, that's so cool.
If you want more diamonds on them, would you get them like separate from the original diamond, or would you get like the diamonds into the diamonds kind of thing? Like
they would
touching?
I reckon I'd have like a little bit of empty space between them.
Yeah.
But it would be like a pattern, so it would cover
That would be sick.
thing.
That would be pretty awesome.
Yeah, I don't really know how I feel about tattoos. When I was younger, I was always like, I could never do that. I could never get a tattoo. It's too permanent, like whatever. I think I'm slowly warming up to the idea, but
Same.
at the same time, like, I don't know.
Got a half and half on it.
Yeah, it's still scary permanent to me.
I feel like that's like a really big decision, like trying to like decide what's going to go there permanently.
Yeah, it is a big decision. I mean, you can get them removed, but that's like a fucking process.
It has to be
big
something.
decision. 2 chicks making out. That's what I want on my body for the rest of my life.
It has to be like a really kind of like meaningful thing for me to get a tattoo.
Yeah.
It
That's
has
fair
to
enough.
It has to have some kind of meaning that's cool to me and would be cool to other people. So
Yeah, like Toby the other day was watching this sick lesbian porno,
Yeah.
and he was like, "Fuck, this is
Couldn't
meaningful."
get it
to
out of
me."
his
The
head.
meaning behind this is actually partially to do with like, because I always, since I was young, I always wished that I was like born a chick, right?
right.
And I'm also attracted to women. So I was like, I'll have a chick kissing a chick. People have said that this looks like loser fruit, by the way.
And Bordy, it's a loser fruit and Bordy making out.
Doesn't look like loser fruit.
Kind of does.
It looks like any white chick ever.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's all it looks like.
But when Bordy pointed it out, I was like, fuck, she's right. It does kind of look like loser fruit.
So,
And then Bordy tweeted at loser fruit being like, look at this. And then she was like, she tweeted an emoji back.
The old emoji reply.
The old
Shout out
emoji
Click.
reply.
Shout out to Click.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get Lachlan fucking Muselk on my arm.
You're gonna get what?
Lachlan fucking Muselk.
Just
Yeah,
get the entire
that's-
Click crew tattooed onto yourself.
Yeah, just in a huge
On your back.
orgy, all on my back.
I mean, sounds like a bold decision, but I respect it. By all means.
If you just do that on your face, just get a face tattoo.
I wish
then
those
if it gets
guys-
leaked, you just have that.
I wish those guys would come over and smoke weed with us.
I'm sure they will at some
They
point.
want to.
Yeah, do they?
Yeah.
Well, they just live in Sydney. That's all. We're just busy all the
We're
time.
gonna meet up with them at IM. We could smoke.
Don't know. Well, I think we're staying away from the event itself, so we have no idea, buddy. But I'm sure we'll cross paths again soon.
Yeah, they might
always
be
a good
going
time.
out,
Yeah, I want to
hanging
go
out with them.
fucking party with Click.
Hell yeah.
Do you think you would ever want to design a tattoo on me?
Sure.
I think that could
do
be cool.
Fucking
That'd be
oath I'd
pretty
do
lit.
that.
Swagger's
Yeah.
actually a little bit of an artist, a bit of an artiste.
Yeah,
I will say.
I got some.
Oh, is that your
I got
fine
a
work over
drawing up there. I only did the face. I didn't do the neck or any of that. But that is iDubbbz.
Yeah, we got whiteboards in the house, and some nights you just wake up and walk and see fucking big pictures on walls of
Yeah,
just
this-
what the fuck.
One time, like Swagger, I was watching Swagger. He was stoned as fuck, just drawing.
Or
It
dabbed
started
out.
out as like an old man, and then he
Yeah.
just kept adding to it like demonic shit until
I
it was
still have
like
that picture. What do we name him? Eugene or something?
I don't fucking know.
Harold.
dude. Harold.
Named him Harold.
He was flying. He had angel wings and the eyes of the devil.
Fucking
He had
castles in his
he had
body
an
and
exposed
shit.
rib cage. He had arrows in his head. He had demon wings. I have a picture. of it.
Yeah.
But I also drew him with a yarmulke.
Yes.
And curls, and then I was like, maybe I shouldn't post this.
We should get a what?
I was just asking like everybody. I was like, what should I do with him? Someone was like, make him Jewish. I was like, okay, so I made him Jewish.
Diversity.
We should get a whiteboard wall
Ooh,
that we just like
that's a really
take.
good
We could
idea.
take like fucking Insta pictures in front of it of what we want to draw and shit.
What if we just put a bunch of whiteboards on that wall over there?
Just make this whole wall behind us a whiteboard. And
Be fucking sick.
Yeah,
I'd be down.
that'd be good for the
Be
podcast.
great
set.
for a set.
I think it would be sick to have tattoos designed by my friends. That'd
Yeah.
be really cool.
Yeah,
Like,
I would feel like
even
I
if they were-
permanently branded you.
Even if they were just like little ones, but you know, just
I want to design a
and
sick one.
like it
for
wouldn't
you.
even necessarily have to be a design, like even just an idea. If someone like came up with an idea and then got it designed by the artist, I think that'd be really cool.
When you hit one, when you
All right,
sorry, I'm having a stroke. When you hit 1 mil, you should do a contest for your subs where you're
Oh,
like,
that'd be
hey,
sick.
design a tattoo for me, and I'll pick the one that I want and actually
Ooh,
get a tattoo.
that's not
Design
bad
a
idea.
diamond.
Yeah, design a diamond.
I do think it'd be cool to get a diamond done in some way that like that symbolizes kind of this whole stage of my life with like YouTube and Twitch and all that. I think that would be really
The
cool.
diamond that says chaos with a bunch of fire.
We've
The
just have-
demonetization symbol.
We just
Yeah,
have a blank
perfect.
one where it just says this space is intentionally left blank on it.
That's a shit idea, Matt.
That's so hipster.
Guys, earlier today we asked on Twitter for you guys to send in questions because let's be frank, we have zero content. And guys, we're just gonna go ahead and read some questions. So let's see where we're gonna start. They're all shit, by the way. I tweeted out the tweet on the Misfits Twitter. We got like 1,000 replies in like 5 minutes, and almost all of them are complete dog shit. So you guys go fuck yourselves.
They're either
basically.
complete dog shit or they're questions that we don't necessarily want to address yet. Like it's
Yeah,
questions
or-
about stuff that we might do in the future.
or stuff we've talked about a million times before
Exactly.
on the podcast. Okay, well, let's start from the top here. At Justin Hunt says, "What was you guys' first time smoking weed like?" Great grammar there, Justin.
I got grounded the first time I smoked weed.
How do they find out? What are you, a
So-
fucking noob?
So what happened was me and my mate were like talking on Facebook about like what we wanted to do. It was like my mate's birthday or something, and we were like, and he was like, "Oh yeah, my sister's buying us weed. Do you want any alcohol?" And I was like, "Sure, buy me a bottle of Jack Daniels, right?" And a few weeks pass, and I like my mum goes one day and she's like, "Hey, so you left your Facebook logged in?" And she read the messages and was like, "Yeah, we're taking like your phone and computer off you, and you're not seeing your friends for a month."
That's an invasion of your rights, Toby. You could sue her.
It's your parents,
As
not
an
a cop,
American,
man.
that's disgraceful.
But yeah, that was the first time I smoked weed. We went to the park with my mate. We drank a bottle of Jack Daniels and smoked a couple joints.
Jesus.
So your first time was getting crossfaded?
Yeah, I guess.
Man, that's
It was
hardcore.
also the first time I had drank alcohol.
Jesus, you're out of control.
Just crossing the beams.
I was also probably 14, 15.
When you finally try meth, you should do heroin at the same time. Just keep going with the tradition.
Great idea.
I can't even remember my first times. Actually, I think there's 2 times that could be my first time, and I can't remember. One of them was just a classic, like, circle during my university days.
Circle jerk. Classic.
Classic circle jerk, smoke a joint in between.
Jokes and jerks.
And the other time was with my brother which was a much more wholesome experience. My brother and his friends just getting ripped as shit. Yeah, I don't know.
I remember you telling me about that.
It was bonks. Yeah.
Oh, word.
Yeah. Shout out to my brother's friend. He knows who he is if he's listening to this. Because that might have actually been my first time smoking weed,
Like
and
properly
it was
being
very memorable. Is that how you even say that?
Memorable.
Word? Memorable. Whatever, man.
It's a very memorable bowl.
Yeah, it was so memorable that I forgot what I was gonna say, guys. Next question.
Wait.
No, just kidding. What was your first time smoking weed?
My first time. Oh shit. Now I went on the record and said that it was when I was 18, just to put a precedent for people that look up to me and are like, I want to smoke weed just like Swagger. And
Yeah, don't smoke weed when you're young.
Yeah, don't smoke weed when you're young.
We did it. Bad for your brain if you're young.
It'll root your brain.
Yeah, you should wait until you're at least 18, because then you're old enough to make your own decision and weigh the pros and cons.
Take
But
it
enough
from
that gay
5
disclaimer.
dumb cunts.
Yes,
Don't smoke weed when you're underage.
we only got success because we're lucky.
We're the kinds of people that would encourage you to smoke weed when you're underage, and we're telling you not to.
Yeah.
So that should be enough.
Yeah, I personally don't encourage it, but I was in high school. I was maybe 16,
You sick fuck.
15. It was freshman year of high school.
Can't believe it was
I had a D in algebra, and I was sick that day, and I went home early.
Was it raining, sunny?
Yeah, I don't fucking.
You're just listing all these details.
well,
I
it's
remember
part of
because
the
I got a
story.
D in algebra. Okay, go on. Sorry.
So I had a D in algebra. I was sick. I went home early, so I was going to miss the test. And so I went home. I was pretty fucking sick. I had a bad cough. And then the fucking teacher called my dad, and then he came home from work and said, "You're going right the fuck back to school. I don't care if you have a cough." And I was fucking dying, so he sent me back. I was back in time for lunch, and it was 8th period was my math class. So I went and did the test. And I was so fucking pissed off. And my friend at the time, my best friend, he was trying to get me to smoke weed for like since middle school. And he's like, "Hey man, you want to smoke weed?" And I was like, "Yeah, let's smoke some fucking weed. Like I'm done with this shit. I just want to fucking smoke." And so we went out to a park relatively near our house. It's kind of like an abandoned Boy Scout camp.
Creepy.
Not many people really went around there. It was pretty run down. People would walk the trails, but if you went past a gate, it was pretty secluded. No one was around there. So we went there. He had this very small like one-hitter pipe that he used for decades. Not decades. Like maybe,
Since he was a baby.
Yeah, since he was a child. he used it for a while, and he packed it up. I smoked it, and as I was smoking it, I immediately got high, and I immediately got anxious, and I started walking around in circles feeling immense guilt because my parents drilled into my brain since I was like 10 not to smoke weed and not to do drugs. So I was freaking out internally about that. He goes, "Dude, chill out. Have another bowl." So I had another bowl, and I relaxed. We walked back. It was my first time being high. I was like, "Ooh, this is pretty nice. This is pretty awesome." Fucking, he was like, "I'm going to go inside, put the shit away." So I was outside of his house, just looking at a tree and staring at ants walking up the tree and being like, "Dude, this is so profound. This is so amazing." And he walked out and he goes, "Well, what do you want to do?" I was like, "Well, let's just fucking go back to mine." My mom and my dad were home. We walk in and I go, "Hey, is it okay if my friend comes over?" They're like, "Yeah, sure, that's fine." So we go up to my room, like run up to my room just to avoid any interaction with adults. And I had Modern Warfare 2 on my Xbox 360.
Good shit.
And we started playing that, and we were just laughing because we were playing the first mission, and I was on the minigun, and I just kept gunning down civilians, and he was just laughing his ass off. And then my mom walks up with a bag of, like, a family-sized bag of Cheetos. Like, "You guys want any snacks?"
Stoner
And we're
mom.
just like, "Yes, give me the snacks." And so we just fucking... First time having the munchies and just like downing half a bag of these fucking puffy Doritos and Cheetos. It was fucking awesome.
It's a
Really
pretty good
lit.
experience.
I smoked like weed quite a bit when I was younger, and I was never really that into it. I kind of smoked weed because my friends smoked weed, and it was just like, oh yeah, when I would go over to their house and they were smoking a joint, I'd be like, yeah, sure, I'd get high as well. But every time I was kind of like, meh. It was never really something to me that I was like, this is so sick, this is so fun. I've always been pretty uninterested in it. And then there was the point where I started using it to help me sleep and shit like that.
Right.
And that was always great. But I've never been that into weed, to be honest.
Yeah, I didn't start smoking like alone, like without another person to smoke until maybe a year and a half ago, like when I got my own place. And even then, I had my own place for like 2 months. I only smoked when I had friends over and they wanted to smoke. Because, being alone in a house, I get anxiety if I smoke weed. I think some fucking guy's going to break in and kill me. Because, I'm retarded. But and then after that, I just started smoking on my own. It was helping me with work. It was helping me sleep.
I'm the complete opposite from you. I've found, because, like I haven't really been regularly smoking weed until recently, since I moved to Melbourne, where my manager just delivers it to me without me even asking for it. Yeah, because like before I was stone cold sober whenever I was home, and when I travel I would get high with you guys. But recently I've been experimenting with it, seeing if I can be productive on it. I can be productive on weed. I just would prefer to be productive when I'm sober, I think. It's the conclusion I've come to. I think that like ultimately I'm probably going to slow down and maybe just use it like once a week or whatever, purely for recreational purposes, because if I'm high and I'm being productive, I always just at the back of my mind want to enjoy myself more than I want to do whatever I'm doing, and that always fucks with me. Plus, like I always feel groggy the next day. Like
the weed hangover you get.
It's some people don't get that. I definitely get that, and I don't like the way it makes me feel.
Maybe it's like an afterglow, but I only use marijuana when like in certain parts of my creative process. Like if I record the podcast and if I'm recording videos now, I prefer to be sober. I honestly prefer to be sober. I get way too in my head.
Yeah, you started getting really anxious during recording sessions sometimes because you were high.
That's why I stopped.
Like, oh my god, I'm not fucking funny. Oh my god,
like,
joke doesn't land. You're
like, did a flip switch and now I'm no longer funny?
Yeah,
and so that's why I stopped doing that. And when I cut up footage, I like to be sober because I need to tell what's funny. And when I'm fucking high, everything's funny, and then I rewatch all the shit that I cut up, and I'm like, this is dog shit.
Or it could go like even the other way, where you're like watching shit over, trying to cut it up, and you're like, oh, this is terrible, this is horrible. Then you watch it back sober.
So
like,
I just do that sober, and then when I do subtitles now, I have to be stoned because it just makes it so much easier. I listen to an album, 5 albums later, all my subtitles are done, and I'm good. So
cool.
What about you, Mason? What was your first time?
Just ripped a mad gate on May 18th.
Wait, what was that language you just said?
He ripped a mad gato when he was 18.
What's a gato?
Gatorade bong.
Gatey bong. Had a fucking mad rip, and then just had a memorable night with the boys.
Sound like the whitest person ever. Like, what is a gato?
Yeah, it was fucking sick.
Had a good night?
It was actual sick.
Right on.
Fucking hectic.
Matt?
I think this is back in like early January of last year, back in like 2018. I was flying up to Boston, I think it was, to watch one of the CSGO majors. I think that was the one where Cloud9
Surely you
won.
smoked with us at PAX the first time.
Yeah, well, I couldn't fucking. I actually.
Was that your first time?
I smoked it, but I didn't get high at all. Like a little
Happens.
bit, but I just couldn't. Like there's like that initial like threshold tolerance or something you have to like break through when you start smoking for the first time.
I think a lot of it, Matt, is that when you start, you just don't know how the fuck to smoke.
You don't know how to inhale.
Yeah,
You don't
true.
know how
Yeah.
to inhale properly.
It also
It's like
didn't
when I
help that
dude.
you rolled the weirdest joints to where I was lighting the filter end too.
Yeah, well,
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, he rolls like these weird joints to where the filter end's thicker than like the other end that you're supposed to light. So like,
What, so you light the wrong end?
yeah, I went to
right.
light the wrong.
I got a story about this that literally happened yesterday. Okay. So I was smoking weed yesterday because I finished my work and I was like, okay, I earned this. I'm going to smoke a bit of weed, play some Minecraft, whatever. And I smoked one joint. I think I got pretty high. This was like maybe at like 4 in the afternoon. And then like around 7 or 8, it started wearing off. And I was like, you know what? I want to get high again. And so I went outside. I rolled a joint. It was really bad because I'm out of tips, I'm out of filters. So I like rolled my own with like this cardboard that I...
little crutch.
Yeah, it wasn't very good. And I went outside in the pitch black dark to smoke it. And I lit the wrong fucking end. And get this, I smoked it for probably it was inhaling cardboard maybe for like 2 minutes. Because I was still high.
It's hard.
I was so hard. I was like, what, this shit tastes awful, but whatever, man. I go, because it's a tiny little thing that I rolled.
Right.
And like, I just wanted to get it over with basically. It's like, fuck, this tastes disgusting. And then I was like, wait, I'm not getting anything from this. And then I looked at it and I was like, oh my God, I've just been fucking I lit the cardboard on fire and I was just inhaling that.
We've all been there.
And I think that's why I have a cough today.
Yeah, probably.
I don't think that's going to be very good for me, but hopefully be all good.
You remember when we were in Rotterdam? I remember we got like was like a bunch of joints from the coffee shop,
Fuckload of joints.
and we're smoking it on the way back,
Yeah,
and we're
yeah.
giving it to Matt, and he's just like puffing.
No, it was
on
me and
he's-
Mason. We were,
he's-
like, hailing that
and, he's-
thing.
and Matt's like, dude, I'm not getting high, bro. I'm not getting high. I'm like, are you inhaling it? Like, you go, and then you have it in your mouth, and you go. Like that,
Yeah.
and then you blow it out, and I'm like, how many? And he goes, yeah, I'm doing that, dude, but it's not working. I
You had
go,
like
I go,
20
I go,
Yo, you
I go,
two-
how
me
many
and Mason
times have you
both
hit
are
it? He
like,
goes,
dude,
he goes,
we're not getting high
He's
from
like,
this
he's like, goes, dude, I had it 8 times, bro, 8 times. I was like, if you hit that thing 8 times and you're not high, dude, you are doing something critically wrong.
Yeah.
Funny enough, I actually was vlogging that. Like, I watched the footage back eventually, like a couple months ago. I watched it. I'm like, okay, I finally pulled up the video. We were stoned out of our minds. You could tell. We were just like, dude, I'm not getting high at all from this shit. We were fucking, me and Mason were gone. But like,
completely gone.
Probably just
It
bragging.
could have been the fact.
I'm gonna be hot.
Could have been the fact that it was so cold and windy too. Because
no, I think it's because it's the
it's kind of
they're
sober.
spliffs. They always have spliffs in Europe with tobacco. Where
Yeah,
it's
they-
mixed.
they
It always
cut it
makes you
with
like
tobacco.
super lightheaded.
Yeah, we
and
were
shit
ripping
like
that thing up the street. I was,
Yeah, you were like,
I
dude,
was
this isn't
fucked.
hitting at all. I'm
I
like,
was
let me try
fucked,
it.
and you're like,
This
it's
isn't
not even
hitting,
hitting
yeah.
me, man. And then I'm just like, whatever. Then just keep hitting the fucking joint and just don't feel anything.
That's what's
whatever.
dangerous with those spliffs. You can sit and chew on them, man.
Spliffs are way better than joints. Just saying. If
I
it
don't
doesn't
know.
have tobacco in it, I don't like it.
Yeah.
Really? No,
It's
I
Because you're
really
fucking
only have
nicotine
green.
and
No, it's because tobacco burns the joint quicker. That's why I like it.
It burns it quicker. I
Why do
thought
you-
it burns it
gives,
slower.
gives better
Tobacco
hits.
burns it quicker.
Why
No, I
would you
thought
want
it
That's
was
it
why people. That's why
slower,
people
yeah.
cut it because it's a slower burn.
But joints take ages to smoke.
They don't. They go fucking pretty
You gotta
quick.
pull
They
quick.
go really
If you
quick.
pass them around and shit,
Yeah.
yeah. But like,
I've always had it so that like when I've smoked weed, if it was filled with weed, it burned way slower than if it had tobacco in it.
Maybe it's just like packed super tight or something like that.
Who fucking knows, boys? Next question.
Stoner science.
Weed talk out of the way. At BJ, I mean, sorry.
Low job.
Let me read that one again. At BFJ lol. How did you guys get your names? My parents gave me mine. Toby,
Parents.
Swagger,
Parents.
Mason.
which names?
Just your name, man.
Like in-game name?
Like
Don't you-
Mason.
Is that what? Are you sure that's?
They said, "How did you guys get your names?"
Why the fuck? Why would they be asking that kind? Like,
Mason,
what,
just answer
what
the
do you
question.
mean? Like,
It's not
yeah,
that hard.
Just
Yeah, dude, I picked my
Do you
name
need
when
a
I
phone a
popped out
friend?
the womb.
Do you need
Answer
a
the
phone a
question.
friend or?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure my parents gave me my first
And
name.
Matt.
I'm not sure.
Okay, great.
Well, he
No,
originated
my
with
parents-
Matthew, and from that
Oh, yeah,
point
now we're Matt.
turned into Matt.
There you go.
My parents had two
Sex.
names for
Sorry.
yes, they did multiple times, I'm sure. But they
Perfect.
had 2 names for me, which was either the name that I have now, Eric, or Gary. I could have been named Gary. What about you? Do you have any alternate names that your parents could have thought?
Faggot. At JLT8230. How did you guys meet Ryan and Sam? They're our managers, by the way. And when did you decide that they would be your managers? Here, explain it in the tweet.
Ryan told me he'd get me a fucking chair at PAX, and
Well,
from that
well,
point
the
on,
first
you guys
person to
met
meet
them
Ryan.
through me. So basically, okay, I don't know if I've told this story. I was living in Wellington, in New Zealand, with my boys from the same flat that. I'm explaining this so poorly. Basically, I used to work at a restaurant after I dropped out of university. I was living with these 5 dudes, great guys. Shout out to them if they're listening. During that year, my YouTube took off, and I eventually decided that I kind of wanted to get my own place because it wasn't good living. Why are you giving me that look?
I'm just laughing at the shit being thrown around.
Yeah, they're passing vapes around.
Passing vapes like they're passing notes in class.
Anyway, I decided to get my own place. I decided to move back to my hometown, Auckland, New Zealand. And as soon as I moved, I was introduced to Ryan by the guy from Fan Fiber that was doing my merch at the time, and basically just said, "Yo, this guy wants to talk to you." I was like, "All right, I love talking to guys." So we called on Skype. And we talked for like a whole hour, like in our first call, me and Ryan, and just kind of hit it off. And he was basically selling himself to me in a good way, trying to like explain what he could do for me and how he could help me and how he wanted to be my manager. And I was like, fuck it, I just moved. I'm ready to start. Are you good, bro? Could you stop hitting the vape so viciously in my face, please?
try and blow O's, G.
This room reeks of smoke. Anyway, he offered to be my manager. I thought, why not? Let's give it a try. He started bringing me a couple brand deals. It was working out well. We were chatting all the time, just getting along very well, like good friends. And then, I think like, I can't remember if I introduced him to any of you guys before.
What
PAX.
happened was Fitz, we were hanging out one day in person, I think. And I think you were just telling me about Ryan. And you were saying like, oh yeah, I met this guy and he's getting me brand deals and making me money.
He's fucking me.
And I was really small at the time and I was making no money on YouTube. And I remember not saying it to you, but like in the back of my mind being like, I'm gonna try and find a way to contact this guy. But for some reason,
why wouldn't you just ask?
I don't know. For some reason, I think I was like, I think I just thought, oh no, I'm too small to get a manager. That's stupid. But I was like, so I'm not going to tell anyone. I'm just going to do it. So I
weasel your way in there.
I went home and I searched your. I think you told me what his name was or something, and I followed him on Twitter and just waited for him to DM me.
Oh,
I didn't DM him. I waited for him to DM me, and he did.
I added him
Tactical.
on Skype, and his Skype picture was him in a suit. I was like, I got the complete wrong first impression from him.
Ryan used to be a real estate agent, so like,
Yeah.
he used to use this ridiculous photo of him when he was younger in a suit, just smiling like an
Fucking
idiot at the camera.
hilarious.
The complete opposite of who he really is.
Yeah.
When I met him at PAX, and I was like, man, I wish we could get some weed here. I don't know how we're going to get any weed in Australia. And he just goes, dude, I got you. And
Yeah.
bam, an
And
HO.
the funny thing is that Ryan didn't smoke weed until he met us. Did you know that?
I thought he started smoking with Sam.
No.
Like, no, really?
He'd smoked before.
Pax was-
in fact, I don't even think he'd smoked before. Pax was literally like,
He was
Really?
anti-weed.
he went all out.
That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
He didn't like weed.
Like, yeah, I mean, Pax was really what cemented the idea in all of our minds that Ryan was like the shit, basically, and then he was going to be a good manager. Chris, would you mind shutting the fuck up over there, mate?
Hey, he's cooking dinner. Give him a break.
Spaghetti and meatballs.
Chris is cooking dinner in the
Intern
kitchen.
Chris?
Yeah.
Sorry if you can hear that.
Yeah, I think he just like me and Swags. We got to our place. We were just hanging around. We had nothing to do the first day.
Yeah.
and then I think he just hit us up and he's like, "Hey, come chill at our place." So we'd like hung at Hibs.
Really
That's
nice.
where we first
Pax
met
was
him.
really what cemented everything.
Yeah.
For how they are now.
It was the first time we met everyone, first time we met the managers.
Yeah.
We all everyone connected.
Everyone
like straight away,
connected.
it was just so easy to hang out with everyone.
Everyone
Very
got
cool.
along. Yeah, and Ryan obviously is pretty much the best manager in the industry and does a whole ton of stuff for us.
Does
that
10
honestly,
times more for us than he actually needs to.
Yeah.
literally, it's not even his job, but he just does it anyway.
BetClick's manager's shitter than ours.
Oh, shots fired. I mean, it's safe to say that any manager is shitter than ours, so fair enough. And Sam, we just met through Ryan, so there you go.
Yeah, but we all hate Sam.
Fucking can't stand the cunt. At Till Z says, "What is your greatest memory together?"
Driving down the autobahn in a van with the sun setting, listening to Dead Mouse.
While our driver was drinking
In Berlin.
vigorously.
Actually, wasn't there for that, so that's awkward.
Yeah, well, you weren't there and Jay wasn't there, but the rest of us were there and it was sick.
My greatest memory is you just telling me that right now.
Epic.
So
And it was a pretty good memory.
you got a different memory there, Swag? You're thinking?
I'm having a hard think. I'm going through all the wacky shit that we did. Like Europe was great, but I don't want to like disclude you and Jay. All together, fucking the acid trip.
I think the acid,
Probably,
trip,
yeah.
the acid
Everyone's
trip
together,
when he
yeah.
was in his fucking spacesuit
Yeah,
and he's
it was
like,
off, like, jump
get
trip.
ready for this flight, boys, because it's going to be a long one or some shit like that. And I was just like sitting back like, what the fuck is about to happen?
That was
bro?
definitely the best memory. That night was probably one of the best nights of my life.
Same
Yeah.
for me. I mean, it was also just at that time. It was right before. Wait, no, we'd already launched the podcast and everything. And
Yes.
things were like basically the entire future was just unknown, and it was a very exciting kind of period. I feel for all of us.
The great bonding experience.
Yeah, it was before the Misfits house and before everything kind
I
of
would like
fell
to
into
change
place.
my best memory. My best memory was actually when I fucked Mason a few weeks ago.
Absolutely outstanding. I remember that.
Wait, I
that was
thought
my
that
secret
was a
memory,
dream.
dude.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, no, that was a dream.
Oh yeah.
That was my
redacted.
favorite dream memory.
Dreamery.
Moving on. At YT_tricks. Where did Swagger get his helmet as a present or bought it? Got it from Amazon. At
That's not
YT.
true. That's not true.
Did you get it from Amazon? Oh no, your
My mom.
Tell the story.
Internet.
Internet. There you go. Not that much.
I want to buy I want to buy a helmet like as close to yours as I can, and then I want to paint it on stream. I just want to look. I think that would be cool. I just need to try and find a way to find a helmet like yours.
I could probably link you one that's pretty close. But I don't think they even make the same model as mine anymore. I think those fucking
Limited
guys went out
edition.
of business. I think they were local.
Limited
okay.
edition.
You should get like a chrome paint on the helmet where it like rains and then it changes color and shit.
We've
That'd
been
be sick.
talking forever about Swagger customizing his helmet and getting.
I was gonna polish it for $3 million. I was gonna, the whole video is just gonna be me. No, I can't spoil it, but
Polishing the helmet. Spoilers.
At Booty Crayon, fantastic name.
Very big.
How did the idea of the podcast occur? Who had the first idea for it? Happened in New York, right?
Fitz and I actually.
Oh, true.
When we were, this was ages ago. I think this may have even been before we had actually met you guys in person. I went over to Fitz's house once. We were talking about making a podcast for a while because we had done all the improv stuff and CS:GO Surf and stuff. And we
I really
just thought
need to
it'd be
pee.
fun.
Yeah.
Go.
I always wanted to start I do a podcast since I was in university.
I went over to Fitz's house. We set up a table, set up a couple cameras, and we sat there and filmed the podcast. So there's actually a podcast that is just Fitz and I sitting there talking about each other for like an hour.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Went pretty well. If you can hear Mason just urinating, not even bothering to hit the side of the bowl.
Or closing the door at
Or
all.
closing the door. Just leave. There's a toilet right next to the podcast stand. He has just left the door open and he is just pissing in the water.
You should have gave him the GoPro again, like the Edibles podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Get the POV cam.
Jesus Christ.
But other than that, I think the reason we started the podcast
just go on.
was actually because of the Poland story.
Yeah, that's what I was
Yes.
going to say.
We
I'm
were-
pretty sure the rest of us had
Yeah.
the idea after the Poland story.
We were talking about how we
we
wanted.
need to tell this shit.
We needed to tell that story, and we're like, a podcast. That'll work.
are you done, Mason?
He's got to wash his hands. Is he going to even wash his hands?
No, he's washing his hands. Good boy.
Good boy. Yeah, no, we were in New York, I remember, and you guys told. You guys.
What the fuck?
Is he taking a shower now? Or?
I honestly don't know.
Mason, get the fuck back. There you go.
Turn the tap off.
There's water running in
Tap
there.
running?
Whatever.
Sounded like there
Did you
was.
wash your hands?
We were in New York.
Yeah, go back in there, wash your hands.
What the fuck, man?
Eager for the podcast, all right?
I swear there's a tap running.
It's just the toilet. Anyway, if I could just finish real quick. We were in New York for one night, and you guys told me the Poland story. It was the first time I heard it.
Oh, yeah.
And then it was like, after that, it was like, podcast 100%. Like, this will be the first episode of the podcast, which it wasn't. It was the second episode. I'm the real fish. How is Swagger enjoying the whole biking to the gym thing?
Ooh, I'm enjoying it a lot.
Nice.
It's like 2.8Ks there, 2.5K back. It takes me about 15 to 20 minutes to get there. It takes me about 15 to 20 minutes to get back.
Excellent. I can calculate his location now.
You just get tackled one day while you're riding to the gym by a
Bike's
crazy
really
fan.
smooth. Have a place to lock it up at the gym. Got a nice bike path to ride back and forth. Really good.
Gym's going good. You've recovered from your DOMS, from your muscle soreness.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I
Awesome.
mean,
what was it like after the first day of legs?
I mean, it's a full body workout routine.
Okay.
But the thing is, workout A is full body. So I do, bench press, fucking, deadlifts and shit like that. I have to stretch my hamstrings out with like straight leg deadlifts. So I'm working on my legs and my arms and my torso. And then workout B is working on my legs, my arms, my torso, my back, but in just different
Your
muscles.
pussy and your crack?
Yes.
Very
and my,
good.
Is it a double-sided disc, workout A and B?
No, it's some shit I found online. I
Is it the
modified
Richard
a little.
Simmons
This sounds
edition?
like flipping the record.
But,
All right, rotate for workout B.
But it's pretty good. I mean, the first day I went, very sore the next day. Second day I went, it was just sore the next day, just in different places. So I'll get used to it. But I'm really enjoying it.
Hell yeah. At Tony Over the Top, who would be your dream person to... Oh my God, Tony, you're killing me with this fucking language.
But
here.
Tony, we love you. You make amazing fan art.
Thank you, Tony.
I have seen her fan art. It's amazing. Who would be you dream person to cone on the podcast and why? I don't know if this is actually her spelling it incorrectly or whoever typed this out because we copied them into a Word document.
My
But
dream
anyway.
person, I would love to have Sarksy, Nanas, and Hutch. The three Machinima
I
boys.
never watched those guys.
They were my idols as a kid.
Watched it very sparingly when I was young.
I'd like Riley Reid on here.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. Possible even.
You
What about
listen to
you,
this,
Swagger?
baby. We're waiting.
I want Notch.
Notch?
I
Yeah.
want to talk to Notch. I want to pick his brain, man.
Fair enough.
That guy is really interesting. He's done so much, and I just want to talk to him about a lot of things, really.
Hell yeah. What about you, Matt?
Yeah, no, I'm a swags on that one. I think Notch would
Notch.
probably be the coolest to have.
Yeah, for me, it would probably be.
Katy Perry.
I would.
It's a huge Katy Perry.
I would have Joey Diaz on the podcast.
Oh, that would be sick.
Because I wouldn't have to say anything. He would just tell stories the entire time, and I would be in
That'd
tears.
be fucking sick.
Yeah, he's probably my favorite comedian. So there you go. Where am I here? You guys didn't even write the ads for these ones, so that's extra.
those ones,
deleted
we
it?
think they deleted the tweets.
Oh, okay. At Sebastian Burke 7. Oh, that's just the same fucking question as before. Good one, Sebastian. Fucking nice, real original tweet there, buddy. At GT Fix, I asked this in Matt's latest video, but I'll ask again. If the police came to the Misfits house, how much weed would they find?
Is that something we should actually disclose?
I mean,
No. At Shaner121, any food you have eaten that you never want to eat again?
beef tartare.
Steak tartare.
No, those Doritos, the world's spiciest Doritos.
I'd rather eat that than beef tartare.
I feel like it was just a one-off occurrence that happened. It was very delicious, though. I enjoyed
wasn't.
it. The
It wa- no,
Doritos I didn't enjoy.
It wasn't the tartare. I reckon what got us food poisoning was the tempura beef.
You reckon?
Yeah, beef tartare. I've had that so many times and never had any issues. The tempura beef was like.
So wait, what's
it
the difference
tasted
then?
Weird. It tasted like there was something.
Why was-
What's the
that
difference
was,
between the
that
two?
was tempura battered beef, like minced beef.
I'm sorry, but do you not remember the Crown's dog food Mandarin cuisine?
Ooh, yes, I do remember that. It was like chicken puree. It was served cold.
Heston Blumenthal.
Yeah, in like a gelatin shaped shell that
Meat
was shaped
fruit.
like a mandarin.
Oh yeah, what was
It
that?
was
shit?
meat
That was
fruit.
disgusting.
Putrid.
It's what he's famous for. Meat
Yeah,
fruit.
he's famous for shit. Jesus, it was actual dog food. That
He's,
you
Yeah,
fed on
he's,
bread.
he's a
Smelled and tastes like dog food.
world-regarded chef.
by
widely known as one of the.
Yeah, regarded by the
Yes.
world as shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. The rest of the food was fucking
The people
fantastic.
that rate that shit fart in wine glasses and sniff it and go, very good. Fucking morons. Next question.
At Alex DeCarterturat, that's literally what his name is. What's the weirdest place you've been recognized in, either by yourselves or as a group?
The brothel.
Swagger, you've never been recognized ever, so you've kind of.
I literally
Yeah.
cannot answer that question.
I got
actually-
recognized when I was working for, like, doing photography for a band once. The guy came up to me while I was running around the stage taking photos. He's like, Toby. And I was like, is that someone I know? But no, it was a fan.
Yeah, one time I was at a Foo Fighters concert with my buddy Ben, and I was in the crowd. It was like kind of before the show started. I think Weezer was opening, and this fucking weird guy came up to me. It's like a standing crowd. We were like in the general admission, and like he was calling me by my real name, but I think he was a fan. But like, it was like either he was a fan or he was some person that knew me from university somehow that I just had no fucking clue
Yeah,
who he was.
that's always really weird. Like, when I got recognized that time, they called me Toby, and that was when my name was John on the radio. So that was why I was confused. I
Yeah.
thought they knew me as well.
This was a weird experience, man. This guy was just making no sense. He was acting like he knew me, but I'm certain that I've never met this person in my life. But he was acting like offended that I didn't know who he was. Maybe it's just some poor guy that I actually like knew really well in university and just completely forgot about. But I very much doubt that that's the case. But yeah, he was like following me around and shit, and that was uncomfortable. But yeah, other than that, I mean, it's always weird getting recognized. It always like.
For me, weirdly enough, it was the same guy both times. Like the same two times I've ever been recognized was the same guy. Once was like outside the Off-White store at Melbourne. And then the second time was when I was at the gym with Sam working out. But he was really polite. Like he waited till like the very end of the workout, and then as we were leaving, he came up and like said hi.
As you're like
and all
in the
that.
showers, he was
Yeah,
like,
slapped
your
you on the
ass.
ass. Yeah.
I had a guy once just shout my name, and he was right beside me. He just goes, Toby! And then he kept walking. Didn't stop to say anything.
That's how it should
That
always
sounds like
be.
your fans.
That's
yeah.
the best. If you see me in the street, just do that, please. Yeah, no, it is weird being recognized.
You, Mason?
I feel like you
place
would have had
getting
some pretty weird
recognized?
ones.
Yeah, I get some pretty fucking weird ones.
Didn't you have a guy on the bus?
Oh yeah, that was fucking weird. I just can't. Yeah, I was catching a bus to Melbourne one night, and like there was, it just started with me complimenting this guy's shoes, and then it took him 2 seconds to work out.
Wait,
it
weren't
was
the
me.
shoes fake though? That you were
Yeah, they were
complimenting
fake,
him
and
on?
I was just trying to, I was having a good day. I'm like, I'm going to compliment this guy's shoes because I'm having a good day. And then yeah, it was my
Instant
biggest regret.
regret.
Yeah, they were just on some shit like the whole bus ride, just fucking.
They're on drugs, you mean?
Yeah, they were fucking skitzing.
Yeah, sounds like you're a fan base. Whenever I get recognized, they always like, for instance, I was in the supermarket the other week, and this guy I'm in the aisle, I'm walking down with my cart, he's walking towards me, and like he kind of gives me a glance, and I'm like, "Fuck, here we go." But he doesn't do anything. He just looks straight ahead and keeps walking. And then I look behind me to see if he's looking, and he's like stopped dead in his tracks, just giving me like a weird look. And I'm like, "You fucking know who I am, don't you?" And he's like, "Yeah, I fucking know." That's like,
he was like, "No, who the fuck are you?"
That's the risk. I take.
I'm just looking at you because you're a fucking tall freak, big forehead.
That's the other thing. I do get a lot of people that just look at me because I'm tall when I'm walking down the street.
I'm
like,
too self-conscious to take that risk, man. If someone's staring at me,
No.
I would never go, "Do you know who I am?"
I was very sure.
Like, so uncomfortable.
I was very sure he knew. Like he knew who I was, but he didn't. He couldn't tell. I think for a second if he knew me from YouTube, if he just knew who I was, like from
Just like a familiar
school
face
or
kind of thing.
something like that. But after that, it's always a good time. Cool. At Tazoo58, favorite bands, if not band, at least genre.
I don't really have an answer to that.
Fuck you, Swagger.
Sean, Covet, math rock. I am so into math rock at the moment. It is insane. I'm really digging it.
I love math. I love rock. It's a beautiful combination of
Honestly,
things I love.
if you guys haven't listened to any like interesting prog rock, or if you never listened to prog rock or math rock, check out Chon. It's CHON. Check out Covet. It's COVET.
I check the cupboard all the time, but there's no music there.
Okay, that was epic.
Do you understand the joke he just did?
No,
Don't worry.
He doesn't even know the fucking joke.
it's an Australian.
He thought you
thing.
said cupboard.
Oh, it's in Covet.
Oh,
COVET.
I still check the cupboard.
Yeah.
Mason, what's
Munchie.
your favorite band
for the
/ genre of
remix.
music?
Fucking
Wombat?
I don't know, I just like fucking Wombat sick cunt.
Yeah.
Fucking like just like EDM kind of shit, I guess.
Yeah, you
Nightcore.
You used to love Nightcore. You love like high energy music.
Yeah, I'm off the Nightcore now, but like I like Fitz got me into like drum and bass.
Hell
Like,
yeah.
love all that shit now. So fucking sick.
Hell yeah. What about you, Matt?
I listen to pretty much anything except country, to be honest.
Oh, the typical response.
Well, I just fucking hate country, that's all.
That's like the Tinder response. It's like, what kind of music you like? Anything but country.
I'll listen to any music.
I can
I'll rock
fuck
out
with
to
country.
whatever.
What if it's
Well, old classic country, not like modern, like pop, hip hop kind of.
Oh,
What about Old Town Road?
Is that the West
That's pretty
Virginia
good.
song?
I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road.
You know, for the longest time, I thought he was saying, "I'm going to take my horse to the hotel room. I'm a ride till I can't no more." I was like, "Is this just a song about fucking a horse?" If I had to answer, I'd probably say, fuck, man. I don't even think I know who my favorite artist is.
I don't have a
Genre.
favorite artist.
I love hip hop, and I love drum and bass. I love electronic
Don't
music.
you like Brockhampton? What's he up to?
Yes, I would actually say that Brockhampton probably is my number one group artist right now.
The shit's pretty dope.
That shit's dope. They make great stuff. Cutting edge hip hop. Sounds old school with a modern blend. That's all the questions we got written down on this piece of paper. We've been going for just under an hour.
Are you sure?
Yes. It says 45 minutes on here, but I started recording 15 minutes into the podcast.
No, it's like 55. We go
Suck my dick, Matt. Guys, we got 5 minutes here to fill. What, Matt,
What?
you seem to want to keep going. What do you want to talk about?
I don't know.
Guys, thank you for
Dude,
listening to the Misfits podcast. Seriously, though, is there anything else we should talk about?
Matt uploaded a new video, and
Yeah.
so did Mason.
Nice.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Nice. And I am posting, but by the time this goes up, my video will be out. So,
That's nice. No one cares. Anyways, we're coming back to the fuck.
oh, he did the things I did.
I can't even do it.
He did the thing I do where I just cut you off because fuck you.
Yeah, make sure you guys go check out Mason and Matt's new video. They work really hard on it.
Yeah, they're
Yes.
fucking good shit.
They bang.
Good shit. Let's
Yeah.
try and all be consistent, eh? Fingers crossed.
Hey man, I uploaded 3 videos
Consistency.
last week, and now I have no footage.
Literally.
Harley
apps.
Quinn has sex with Batman in Avengers.
Guys-
What the fuck?
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
Speaking of that, we're actually right about to go and have dinner, which Chris has been preparing for us in the next room.
I want to fuck Harley Quinn.
And then we're going to go fuck Harley Quinn.
Yeah,
I like
no,
that.
we're going to go see Avengers Endgame right now, which I've heard is just fucking great. It hasn't been spoiled for me.
98%
Thankfully
on Rotten
not.
Tomatoes.
You know what isn't great? Captain Marvel. Terrible movie.
It was
No, it
okay.
was dog
It
shit.
was a
It was,
trash
it was
movie.
okay. It was
So much filler bullshit.
She's so OP, but
I
like,
It
also
very much
hate
was for
women.
like plot lane for the
I
rest
liked
of the
the
movies.
character. I hated the movie. The movie was just long
It got
and
super
boring.
cheesy
I
towards
like
the end
when
too.
the cat gobbled up the people. That was funny.
Whoa,
It was
spoiler.
like Marvel was like, hey, we've got a female protagonist. That means we need to make this like a movie that girls are gonna love. So let's add all this emotional shit. Who cares? It's a superhero movie. Give it action and shit.
Who would have thought that Toby was such a raging misogynist? Am I right, guys?
He's a lesbian.
Fuck women.
He's allowed.
I'm not really like the biggest superhero movie fan. I haven't seen
Neither am I.
every single movie in the fucking Marvel fucking universe.
I've
whatever
seen
it's
all of
called.
them now. They get you in with like the good ones, like is like Iron Man and shit like that, the good high action ones, and then like they just get you addicted to all of them. And they have to end up watching all of them.
Captain Marvel was just lazy writing, in my opinion. It was just a lot of this shit. Just if I get like they're trying to be like funny and have like good banter in the movie and shit, but when you're like holding a gun to another person's head and they're holding a gun to yours, and then you start making jokes to each other, it takes me out, and I just want to fucking throw up.
I mean, these
superhuman.
movies are just for fun, though. Like, I never take these films seriously. There's always
But
goofy
that was the
bits.
thing. It felt like Captain Marvel tried to take itself too seriously.
Yeah.
And it also,
the
like,
wrong
it felt
parts.
like just because it was the last movie before Endgame, they were like, all right, let's throw as much shit that we haven't, like, explained yet into this one movie. So, like, all right, we haven't explained this, let's throw that in. It's like, it didn't really need to be in that movie, and the movie would be better without it. But Avengers Endgame may not have been better without having seen that, you know?
Yeah.
I was listening to everything you just said. Guys, see you later.
Bye.
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 Let's see you guys.
Have a good one. We're gonna need some spaghetti and meatballs.
Spaghetti and meatballs.
Yeah.
Raining from the
Yum.
sky. Hope you enjoyed the Misfits podcast. It's been a blast, and now we're gonna eat some ass. Let's go, boys. Let's go, boys. Harley Quinns.
Let's go.